Hello, welcome to this short tutorial on how to search for literature whilst conducting your literature review. You may have some experience of searching from literature through other modules, and you may have used the UWS databases or Google Scholar to do that. Today we're going to be focusing on using the UWS databases to search for journal articles. So let's have a look at the UWS library website. So to get to the UWS library website, you need to type in www.uws.ac.uk/library. And when you get to the home page, there's a variety of options there. We're going to use the Finding Books, Articles and More option. Then you'll have a variety of other options. You can use books and ebooks. You can click on that to use one search, but we're going to go to the database A to Z. So click on that and you'll be taken to the database homepage. On this page, you will see there are a list of drop-down menus from A to Z. If you click on any of them, you will see there's a variety of journals underneath. My go-to journal databases are, firstly, under D to F, Emerald. I also like to use Sage Journals Online, Science Direct. Sometimes I'll use Springer Link and T to Z. I sometimes use Taylor and Francis journals, Web of Science, and Wiley Online. But I would say my top three are Emerald, Wiley, and Science Direct. That's the ones that I would mostly go to. So for this demonstration, we're going to use Emerald. Just click on Emerald and you will get to a landing page. Then, up at the top, you have to log in. To log into the databases, you're going to either use Shibboleth or Open Athens. You need to type in the name of your institution. Some databases will accept UWS, some you need to type out the University of the West of Scotland, but Emerald finds it for us, and then we can click on here. It will then ask you to log in. So click on login. You get a nice blue screen here, and you're just going to use your Moodle username and password. And that will then take you back to the landing page, the home page for Emerald Insights. Now, all journal websites, all the database websites will have a search bar. And you can use this if you wish, but you can do a more focused search if you hit advanced search. And I would always advise that you go to the advanced search page and you don't just use the single search bar. So most of the journal articles, the advanced search page looks the same. It might be arranged a little differently, but the same functions are there. So if we have a look at that, firstly, we've got tick boxes here, which allow you to define what kind of article you're looking for. Do you just want journal articles? If you click book parts, then you'll get chapters. Would you like some case studies? Or early cite? Now, early cite includes journal articles that might not be physically published yet, but they are available. But we'll stick with all Emerald content at the moment. Then you have your search bar, where you can type in any term you wish. At the end of this, you can refine it further. So say we were going to type management in here, you can then ask Emerald Insight to search their database for management where it appears in all fields. So the term management, whether it's the abstract, the title, any part of the actual journal article, that would come up. You can select title, so it's only searching the titles of the articles. You can select by abstract, so it's only going to search the short summary that you get at the start of journal articles. If you were looking for particular authors, you can put an author's name in the search bar and refine it to the contributor. And the DOI, that is a kind of serial number almost, it's the number attached to a journal article. So if you knew that, you could search for a particular article. You then have the option to search by date range. So perhaps you're interested in management within the last 5 years. So you could put that 2015 to 2020. And then there's the access type. So all content, whether you've got access to it or not, only the open access, which is available to everyone, or only the content I have access to. And the access that you have to journal articles will just depend on the subscription the university's got. So there will be some things in there that you might not be able to get access to, but if you can still see them in your search, you know you're out there and you might be able to access them from a different place. So let's get started. We're going to use the example of entrepreneurial leadership. And first, we're going to search that in all fields. We're going to keep it at all content, and we're not going to put a date range in. So if we hit search on that, 13,000 results. So that's too much. There's no way that you could realistically manage that amount of literature. So we need to define it a little bit further. And journal article databases will also give you the option to do that very quickly using a sidebar. But we'll go back to our advanced search page. Now, one of the issues that we had there was that we have typed entrepreneurial and leadership in all fields. That means that when Emerald's searching, it is searching for any instance of the term entrepreneurial and any instance of the term leadership in all fields, any part of the journal article whatsoever. It's not searching it as a term. So the first tip I would give you is to use single or double quotation marks. And whether you're using single or double will depend on the database that you're using. What that does is it tells the search function, search for this as a term. So only where entrepreneurial leadership in its entirety is found. And let's search again, see what that does. So now we're down to 791. So huge difference from the 13,000 we had in the last search, but still it is too great a volume of literature to realistically deal with. So let's go back again. Another option you have with searching is to add rows. So let's keep entrepreneurial leadership as a term, and perhaps we're interested in it in small businesses, small and medium-sized enterprises. So we can type in SMEs, and we're still keeping it at all fields here. Let's search again. Now we're down to 267. So getting there, but again, still a little bit large in terms of volume to realistically sift through and determine what information is relevant. So let's go back again. Perhaps all fields is too large a search area for a term such as entrepreneurial leadership. I wouldn't particularly recommend using a title because titles of some journal articles don't always reflect the actual contents. But what you could do is put it in the abstract. So search the abstract for the term entrepreneurial leadership. The abstract should be a summary of the whole journal article. So if the journal article is indeed focused on entrepreneurial leadership, it should be mentioned in the abstract. So let's search again. And now we're down to 17. So that's a manageable level. What we can then do is, if we click view summary in detail, and depending on the database you're using, it might say abstract, but give it a click. And now we can very quickly read the abstract and determine if this indeed is an article that is of interest to us, or we're not interested, so we move on. In that first example here, you'll notice there's a green tick and content is available. So that means that I've got access to this journal article and I can read it. The next one, I don't have access to it, but I can still read the abstract. So if I read this abstract and think, actually, this is of interest to my study and I do want to read that, you have all the information there. You've got the title, here are the authors, and if you go down here, tells you what journal article it was actually published in, and it gives you that DOI number, that reference number. So you can take that detail and try and find it elsewhere if it is something you really want to read. So let's go back a little bit. One of the issues with searching a term such as entrepreneurial leadership is it is sometimes too specific. What if there was a relevant journal article about entrepreneurial leaders? That wouldn't be searched. That wouldn't be found. So another thing you can do, if we can just reset this, is you can use your asterisks. And what that is telling the search function to do is to look for words beginning with entrep, but in different forms. So that will search for entrepreneurial, entrepreneurs, entrepreneurship. And let's add a row and put in lead as well. So now we're searching for leads, leading, leader, leaders, leadership. And we'll add a third row and put in a key search term of entrepreneurial leadership. And we'll keep that as all fields right now. A point to note here, somewhat like the quotation marks, depending on the database that you are actually using, you might need to put a number here of how many letters you want to search after that. So say 8. So that would cover entrepreneurship. So it just takes a bit of experience of using the different databases to see the quirks within them. So that will start to show us both entrepreneurial leadership results with any version of entrep or lead. And that's probably a bit wide because we've got quite a lot of search results there. So perhaps we narrow those two truncated words and search again. Now we're down to 136. So still quite wide, but if you feel you're not getting the resources or the hits that you actually need, then you can use that little trick to widen your search but still keep it quite focused on your particular topic. And again, you can just click down and read the abstract. If your 136 is too wide and you think, I only want to think about what's happened in the last 12 months, you can click on that and take it down to 27. And you might say, I don't want any books, I'm sticking to journal articles. Click there for the quick access to filters, and now we're down to 15. So hopefully that has given you a very quick tutorial on how you can very quickly search for literature in a very focused way. And you can do this across a variety of databases. As I said, the ones that I use most often are Emerald, Science Direct and Wiley. There is a further one that isn't available through the university called ABI ProQuest, and you can get access to that if you are a member of the Glasgow Mitchell Libraries. And you don't need to have a Glasgow address to join that. You just need to contact the library and get your membership sorted. So hopefully that's been helpful to you. If you need any further guidance on that, feel free to give me a shout. Thank you for watching.